So we're back from Climb to the Clouds. That was a heck of a weekend. Thank you for everybody who took the time to stop by. Thank you for everybody who got involved. Thank you to all the competitors who stopped by. Thank you to all the visitors and fans who stopped by on their way to watch the actual race. Every morning we were writing names in the margins of the schedule, trying to get as many people in, and it was back-to-back full the entire time. We even stayed late most every day, trying to get the last few people in. So thank you for stopping by the booth. Thank you for all the feedback. Thank you for everything. It was really great to see everybody coming out of that rig glassy-eyed and smiling. People shaking from adrenaline. If you didn't get a chance, we have another event coming up soon. I'm going to announce that in just a little bit. But if you did get a chance to, thank you very much. It was invaluable feedback from everybody. Even if you didn't say a word, we were watching both your reaction and how the rig worked, and it was everything we had hoped it would be. Two kinds of people were using the rig all weekend. There was the fans of the event who came by. A few of them were expecting something closer to an amusement park ride. This is something closer to the actual car. Caught them a little bit off guard, but those were my favorite ones because you could see the progression of skepticism all the way through to fandom. Came out of it and immediately tried to schedule a second slot for the day. And it was everything to see people getting along with that rig to that level. Even the untrained, somebody who has never driven a motorsports car in anger in real life was able to get into this and figure it out from the feedback it's giving you exactly what they had to do. Because that's what we've been designing this to be, is a training tool. It's not supposed to be an amusement park ride. Although it is a whole bunch of fun, it's a whole bunch of fun in order to make you want to practice more. The fun isn't the end goal, the fun is a happy side effect. The end goal is the driver training. And that's generally what you get for your money. You see the F1 simulators, it costs multiple millions of dollars, need a whole room and a team of people to run it. They are training the car. They're trying to create parts that don't exist. They're trying to create setups for whatever race is coming up next. This one is made to train the driver. So this was all about the feedback that the road is giving you, what your car is giving you, and then the rotation is kind of your report card. We'll touch on that more in just a minute here. But that's generally what we're doing with this rig. Competitors came out of their turn on this more in game mode than the average person would. They are used to driving motorsports hardware in anger, and this was enough of a simulation that they came out with the same adrenaline shakes, except they kind of focused it more. You could tell in their eyes it was more game mode, Eye of the Tiger kind of thing, rather than the sheer shock of like, that was amazing. They were like, oh, this was useful, oh my goodness. We have a few of the competitors with videos to come out soon who actually practiced either here in the workshop or there at the hill itself. Team O'Neill has a video coming out, and then Ryan Turek also has a video coming out. Subaru came through with Scott. We had Team O'Neill stop by with Chris and his co-driver Glenn. And we had the top time in time attack on the Mount Washington hill climb within iRacing. That person stopped by for the tent, was able to give us a time. We've been talking about how the rig is a training tool, but it's a little bit easier to visualize when we have an actual car in front of us. So we have the truck of truth in front of us. It's obviously a little bit exaggerated from a race car, but it helps me show the point. So what you were doing when you were driving a race car in anger is completely different than driving a car around a parking lot or on a road or even on the highway. When you're driving a normal car in normal situations, you turn the wheels and generally you turn. When you're driving a race car, there are many points where you turn those wheels and nothing's going to happen. That could be mid-corner, that could be going too fast, and it's generally a function of speed and what they call load transfer. So as you are braking or accelerating, the car will go either back or forward, and what this is doing is transferring load, importantly not weight, but load through the suspension onto these front tires. So when the car is dipped forward like that, there truly is more weight on these front tires, which then gives you more grip, which then gives you more ability to turn. So when you are going fast and you turn the wheel and nothing happens, what you do to fix that is you give more load to the front tires, which gives them more turning authority, which would then let you rotate the car more. This is a balance that all happens very quickly, and what the rig is showing you is basically how much load you're transferring front and back, what the road is doing underneath of you, and then the twist is showing how effectively you are managing those first two. So you're managing how rough the road is to then give your inputs to then transfer the load wherever you need to go, and then the twist will show you how effective you were at those first two. Over the course of the weekend, we ran between 30 and 35 hours of this rig. in a very aggressive state of tune. And there was nearly consistent crashing of their virtual cars. Pretty much everybody who drove this crashed their car into a virtual barrier of some way, shape, or form. So we got a lot of testing data for the spike filters, some of the software damping, and some of the safety mechanisms. And I'm happy to say the worst anything anybody felt in this rig all weekend was embarrassment. We ran this hard and we put it away literally wet. Over the course of the weekend, 2 of the 3 days rained about half the days, and it was high humidity, high heat the other days. And not for nothing, we were in the middle of a field in a wedding tent with a few of the sides rolled up. So this was in some engineering terms might call an accelerated wear environment. In some ways we saw some of that, but in a lot of ways, quite positively, we did not. What happened after all that? With this accelerated wear environment, with all these people crashing, did anything break? Nothing broke. We had 100% uptime. None of the actuators had any problems. The only problem we had were some of the bolts. The heads of the bolts are black oxide, and if they get wet and they stay wet, they are very prone to rust, a bit like brake rotors after a storm. There's little bits of rust on those pretty quickly. New bolts over the course of 3 days came out as rusty bolts. So now going forward, every rig we build will have some zinc-plated bolts or some kind of anti-corrosion coating on every single bolt on this rig, so we don't have to worry about that in the future. So the industry standard has been this kind of screw with a black oxide coating for pretty much as long as I've known sim racing. So what I chose for my rig initially was the same kind of bolt, just a different shape, with a little bit flatter head, a little bit better contact area, and I thought it would be fine. So this bolt was brand new on Thursday, so last Thursday, about a week ago. This then spent 3 days in that field, and now they are not only rusting on the top of the bolt, but a few of these bolts are actually rusting up underneath the head of the bolt. So what I'm going to do going forward is every rig we build now will have these anti-corrosion bolts, and then any customers who have a rig right now, when we come to your yearly visit, we will swap out all your existing hardware for this new anti-corrosion hardware. That was one of the biggest lessons from this weekend, was how much rust will creep in and how quickly it will creep in and how much of a problem it will very quickly become. You may have had a hard day, but these actuators have had a hard life. These have run from about 1,000 hours on my prototype rig, and then we took them to Mount Washington to see how they wear in, if there's anything we need to be worried about them breaking or anything like that. And I'm happy to say no. There's nothing major to report on any of these actuators. They all held up just fine. We will be extending this black slider piece a bit longer. We're going to make our own piece out of metal, mostly for when actuators break. They don't really break from the vertical forces being pushed down. They break on the horizontal forces. They're being twisted like that. That's when they have a lot of issue. A longer slide like that will help them be a bit stronger going side to side. That's really the biggest learning about the actuators we had from all weekend. Otherwise, they were flawless. They had no downtime. They worked great. No notes other than that. The last thing I wanted to talk about were the actual warranty behind my system. So everything about this, be this the actuators or the graphics card in the computer or anything in between, if any of that breaks within those 3 years, I'm coming out with a replacement part to swap it out for you. So I'm abstracting away, I do all the quality assurance on the actuators, on all the different parts and pieces and fasteners and everything about these rigs. But if ever I miss something, that's what the warranty is for. And that's a very aggressive warranty in your favor. If anything breaks, I'm on my way out there to fix it for you.